We turn now to outspoken McCain critic, author of If Democrats Had Any Brains, They'd Be Republicans. Ann Coulter, welcome to the program.
Thank you. Good to be here.
I heard this news about Mitt Romney today, and I thought, I don't even know what this means. I don't know what to do now. I really don't know what to do.
Well, I think it means he wants to run for president again.
25.
I mean, you and I don't want to, so
right.
We aren't required to endorse whomever the nominee of the party is.
Okay, because that was my first. I thought, oh, look who's the happy little elephant. You know what I mean? Look, I can play the game, because everybody hated him because, you know, he hasn't paid his dues. Okay, he's paying his dues.
Right.
The other side of it is, I've spent time this week actually looking at Barack Obama's economic policies.
Which we did finally get.
It's suicide. And so maybe Romney is looking at it going, I mean, out of the three that are left, this is it. Is there a possibility?
Perhaps, but I do think, I mean, Reagan had to endorse Ford after campaigning heavily against him in '76. If you want a future in the Republican Party, if you want to run for president as a Republican, you have got to endorse whomever the nominee is. It could be Joseph Stalin.
What do you do as a conservative? What do you do? People call me up and ask me all the time, and I'm looking at, I mean, I think Barack Obama is going to sweep like Reagan swept against Mondale. I think he's going to sweep, unless facts actually come into play.
Right.
Sweep against, they'll take this as a giant liberal, you know, a progressive time to strike.
Right. Well, on one
nightmare.
hand, if you look at it, you know, issue by issue, Hillary is clearly more conservative. In fact, I think she's more conservative than our candidate. We'd have to oppose Hillary by saying, you know, Hillary voted for bills introduced by our nominee.
Right.
So I would go for Hillary over McCain. As for Obama, yes, he's very, very, very left-wing. On the other hand, the advantage is he's young and inexperienced and probably wouldn't be able to get much done. Whereas Hillary, she's a woman with an agenda. She'll get stuff done.
Okay, but forget about it. You know as well as I know. Hillary, I mean, those people, the people who have been the whole time bashing you, bashing me, saying, oh, look at you, bashing good old Bill and Hillary, and they're just good Americans. They're just throwing them under the bus like crazy now.
Yes.
That's over.
Yes.
So it's going to be Obama and McCain.
I think so. I still think my gal Hillary could pull it out in the end. She's ahead in Ohio. They're very close. Neither one of them are going to have enough delegates to win at the convention now, so it will probably be up to the superdelegates. And you must admit, it appears that there is a supernatural evil force behind the Clintons.
I will tell you, can I tell you, I had dinner last night. Half the table was conservative. The other half were liberals. And I said, we were talking about Hillary, and they're all Obama supporters. And I said, let me ask you a question. In the 1990s, if a Republican would have said, if somebody would have died jogging that was opposing them, and a Republican would have suggested that, wait a minute, did they have anything to do with it? I said, if Obama dropped dead jogging, had a heart attack, and died, there'd be a lot of liberals today that would say, I bet those Clintons had something to do with it. They removed them and got them out of the way, right?
Yes.
I mean, it's craziness.
That is the one fun thing about the horror show of the current presidential election. These two, I think, deleterious forces that were certainly, if not created by, nurtured by, used by the Clintons, the liberal mainstream media, the monolithic black vote, have now been turned against them.
Okay, so if you had to vote for who I think Barack Obama is going to turn into the JFK/FDR, if you had to vote between him and McCain, who would you vote for? I mean, look at this, America.
This is how, I do want to say that both of these candidates, both on the Republican and Democrat side, were supported and I think chosen by George Soros. You know, Soros has been funding McCain, and this is because of McCain-Feingold that we're in this pickle to begin with by vastly increasing the power of the mainstream media. So for the long-term agenda, there's not enough difference of the top three presidential candidates right now. I'll certainly vote for the lower candidates. Maybe I'll write in Mitt Romney or Ronald Reagan for president. And who knows, you know, we'll see what happens as it gets closer. I definitely think Hillary is more conservative on the war on terrorism than McCain is. He's campaigning to shut down Guantanamo. He's hysterical about waterboarding. And worst of all about McCain, he'll do whatever the New York Times wants him to do. I don't think Hillary cares that much about the New York Times or certainly Teddy Kennedy anymore.
Okay. And thank you very much.